I think I understand that the halo effect has been quite useful in improving the accuracy of sales forecasting. Has that been your experience?
Absolutely. I think if you're doing traditional forecasting, it's typically a data exercise. You create a time series of sales data, and then you try to forecast the future of that time series. And it's not a theoretical concept. So the idea of, if we apply this halo theory to the data, that'll explain some of the variation that we observe in the data. And furthermore, if you plotted the halo sales of an item to the item sales, it falls on a shockingly straight line. So there's this embedded structure in the data, which is really that property that customers buy solutions, not items. And so those constant ratios have to exist. And when you apply that to forecasting, all your forecasts should preserve this structure in the data. And if you can actually achieve that with forecasting, we've seen accuracy rates approaching more than 90% on even promotional items, which is typically very challenging to forecast.
Now, talking about applications, does the halo effect help retailers sort of navigate through the supply disruptions that we've seen here as a result of COVID?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you do, like traditional forecasting, it's a data exercise, and if you look at sales data, last year was a huge anomaly when the pandemic began, and we saw a spike in grocery sales in certain categories, panic buying in toilet paper, and we've seen a dramatic change. So, if you're using time series data, the assumption generally is that last year is representative of the future. And in this case of the pandemic, we know that's not true. But when you consider the halo effect actually didn't really change that much, because if you think of, the recipe for pasta bolognese, that's the same today after the pandemic, or we're still, I guess, in the pandemic, during the pandemic, or before the pandemic. So these customer meal solutions are a constant, and so we can take advantage of that when we're forecasting and managing our supply chains. And so this is one of the real value adds of this technology, is it doesn't require this longitudinal representative history, which challenges existing technology and approaches.